Hello, how are you guys?
Hello.
It is still morning for some of us, so good morning. Okay, we're going to get started here in just a moment. And just a couple of thoughts. So, throughout the demo, if you do have questions, just plug those into the chat. And then there will be some time at the end for some Q&A as well. And Amy will help with those questions. So it is straight up 12, so we're going to get started. I am going to stop sharing my camera here in just a moment. So I just wanted to welcome you all to the demo here for managing all your InView orders and purchases order tab. So we're going to go through a list of things. So how to place an order using the InView easy button. We're also going to talk about how you get paid after your orders, but also replacing the images in the order, any statuses, activity, and resources that is all located in that order tab. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And if you do have your InView account open, you can follow along. So I'm going to go ahead and get started here. Share my screen. All right. Just to confirm, can everybody see my screen okay?
Yes, it looks good on the end.
Okay, good. So what you're looking at here is your admin area in the gallery manager. So if you look here, you have a list of all of your events here, but what we're going to focus on is this orders title here. And under orders, that gives you access to the summary of the orders that have been placed by either you or your client. It also gives you access to see all the activity that's going on, as well as your get paid. So that's where you will manage the funds that are coming into you from all of the orders. In addition to that, the resources. So what this does is it includes orders from your client galleries, your IPS sessions, and your apps, as well as your wholesale lab orders. So orders that you have placed through InView's Rose, as well as the album and book cart. This also will help you keep track of any of your subscription purchases. And, we do have some help articles here. So if you're ever asking questions or need assistance, you can plug some questions in here to those articles regarding the orders tab. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and get started with the order tab here. And we're going to go ahead and click on summary just so you know what that looks like. So here is your recent order summary. So it doesn't look like a lot here just for the fact that this particular gallery is for test. So if you look here, your activity is going to be the next. And the activity gives you the option to search. So your list of orders will be here. But you can also do a lot of customization for your search. So if you want to just look at today's orders, the last 90 days, year to date, or a custom range, you can filter by using those date ranges, as well as the order type. So if you want to just look at all of, all of your print sales, it'll show up there. I'm going to go ahead and do all orders, and then as well as payment type. So if you want to look at all of the money that you've received or all your in-person payments, it'll show up there, as well as order status. And so we'll talk about that in a moment, but this would be all orders either requiring action, or maybe you're looking for something that was set and retouching. So we'll talk about that. I just want to make sure you're aware of what these titles meant within the activity section. And you can also filter by payment status. And as well, you could go in and click on the order name or the event name. and search that way. So this is a good way to see all the orders from a specific event. You can also search for those up here in the search form right here. But if you want to reset that, you can. So I had it filtered. So now you see everything because I don't have anything set here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on an order. And here it looks like, let's do this one. My apologies, I clicked on the wrong one. I kind of want to show you one that has several products in it. So I'm going to view this order detail. So when you click on that, I am in activity. And the reason I'm in activity because it gives me more detailed options, like I said, with the filters up here at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and click right here on this order detail. And so this shows the order number, but also the date that the order was received, and then all the details about your customer's information as well as billing, and then all the products are listed here. So what I want to do is talk about the statuses a little bit, as well as replacing the images. So if you have an order here, and we have talked about this a little bit in some of our other demos, but this is important, that goes along with the statuses and the workflow and the activity within the invoice itself. So if you have, let's just say, for example, they wanted retouching on this particular image, you can download the image and do the additional retouching and replace the image. So when you click on replace, it gives you options to replace this item only, all items in the order, which you can view all the items that it was ordered from, all orders from the image gallery that have not yet been submitted to the lab. So this gives you options to go ahead and replace, and you hit continue, and you can replace it in the whole event once you upload it, which is nice. So then you don't have to retouch it again for future orders, which makes it really nice. So once you've replaced the image, you can then set the fulfill through InView. So the fulfill through InView button is how to place your orders easily. So we call that the InView Easy button. So all products that are fulfilled through InView, which are printed at H&H Color Lab, automatically goes to the lab. It's set, it's ready to go. You can ship it directly to your client, or you can have it shipped to the studio, whichever you prefer. So that's a great way to save some time fulfilling very easily without having to go in and order through the Rose fulfillment, and that'll gather all that information for you. So does anyone have any questions regarding the replace the image within the invoice? Okay,
So far, we don't have any, Michelle.
Okay, great.
You're doing
all right, so once that's complete, and you can do it either way, but the status is what is important. That is at the order level. So we have a status option here. So let's just say we've processed the order, the retouching's been done, and it's been sent to the lab. We give you the option to create your own custom status. So if you have special workflow statuses, so maybe it's production, it could be cut wallets, or it could be retouching, or it could be framing, or it could be you know, needs to have a final review. You can set those statuses to be over the order level here. So I'm going to turn on send to lab and make sure that that's on and that you save it. So now the status of this order is it's going to show up in your order tab under activity as sent to the lab. So we'll look at that here in just a moment. So we're done with that. So now anyone who comes in and sits down, whether it's you or you have a team member that is working on specific workflows throughout the day. So if you come in and you go to your activity, here's where the filters come in handy, because I can then go, okay, I'm going to go to my order status. What do I need to do today? I'm going to show only orders requiring action. So if you know you have all these orders that are in retouching, so they need to have the retouching done, replace the image, and then sent to the lab. You can go through whatever workflow works best and how you utilize that within your studio. But it's just an easy way to get to those orders, so you don't have to have a lot of paperwork, a lot of folders back and forth. Everything is listed right there for you to move on to the next status. So if the retouching's done on this, I then can say, okay, well, this status is complete, and I'm going to go ahead and ship it to the lab. So it's now at the lab. Let me apply this into the lab. So that is done. And so when I go back into activity, the next person or the next job, maybe it's special packaging. So once it comes from the lab, it comes back to you, and then you have packaging and to deliver to your client. So that's a little bit about statuses. So I wanted to make sure that you were aware of that within the orders tab. So does anybody have any question about the statuses?
Well, we have a couple questions going on here.
Okay, great.
So like when you do a fulfill to, when InView fulfills the order, like the easy button, how long does it take to get the order back from the lab? Like one was sent in on the 21st. How long does it take to receive prints? And does that show in the activity status, or does that show?
It doesn't.
Okay.
It does not. If you do automatic fulfillment, meaning through the client gallery, that will show a status of it's in production or it's completed and shipped. That information will show, but it doesn't for the fulfill through InView button. And I will verify that for you guys and get back to you on that just to verify, but I do believe that is the case. So because you're setting, it's a manual process, and the delivery turnaround time depends on the products. So if you're doing prints, it's usually a full day turnaround plus shipping. So whichever shipping was chosen for those products.
Okay.
Yeah,
perfect. And then another question from Peter. It says, if we let clients order prints online, how much time do we have to retouch the image before you print it? How does that work?
Okay, so if you are doing an automatic fulfillment through InView, and the order's placed and it goes immediately as soon as the purchase button is acknowledged, it goes straight to the lab and is processed. So it's a very quick process. So you don't have time to retouch unless you request retouching services, in which you would then choose to do a manual fulfillment gallery online. So what that does is it pauses the order, sends you the order details, and allows you to choose however much time you want to retouch that, replace the image, and then that's when you would hit that easy button. Does that make sense?
Yes. So the follow-up question is, how can we retouch it if it gets fulfilled right away? So basically.
Yes. Yeah. To answer your question, you would want to make sure that you chose manual fulfillment for all of your orders or for all of your galleries, so that you would have that control.
Or could you upload the retouched image to show your client? Would that be an option?
It would not. It would not. You can replace or upload those images. So if you have, if you want your images to be retouched, you need to make sure that they're final retouched for purchasing for automatic fulfillment, or you would choose manual fulfillment.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
So the two options are retouch it first and then put it in the gallery, or put it in the gallery unretouched and then choose manual fulfillment.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Thank
Hopefully
you.
that answers your question, Peter.
Yeah.
All right. What you got next for us, Michelle?
Yes, Amy, I just wanted to follow up with that really quick. We do have, if you do sell digital files, we do have an order review. So you, on the digital files, those can be paused and replaced on the purchased downloads. So, and at the end, I'll poke in there and show you what that looks like. So we're going to move on to our resources and get paid. So I'm going to show you the get paid tab really quick. So if you want to know where you manage that, you go to the get paid tab, or title, I should say, and it will pop up any funds that you have in account credit. So it's sitting there ready to be paid out. So we pay out every Friday. So any orders between the end of the day, early Wednesday, is the cutoff time, and then we will pay out every Friday. So you want to make sure that you have a bank account on file, or you can set up to use PayPal. And once you have that set up, it's going to show you, let me go to my summary. So this particular event has, under summary, you'll see your total account credit and available for payout. Now you can set up in your get paid a reserve amount. So if you want to make sure that you always keep a certain amount in there, you can do that. So that there's always money to cover the cost of the goods. So that's a great thing to do. All right, so now I'm going to move over to resources. Under resources, we have three options. This is your digital download management, your tax reporting, and you can update your credit card on file here. So those are the things that you can manage underneath the resources. And so showing you, since we talked a little bit about the digital downloads, we do have, if you ever sell the digital downloads and you can go in and reset those downloads, because we give I think it's 14 days. Yeah, it's 14 days active for your client to, use that link and download their images. So you can extend the download availability, but you can also request a new link. So you would put the order number, which is that ES number, the client's order number right here, and request a link, and it will then send that information on to that client again. So that's a way to manage some of your download fulfillment. All right. So we've gone through how to use the easy button, replacing images for the order receipts, how to get paid, and talked about statuses and activity and resources. Do you have any particular questions at this time before I move on to a couple tips?
So far, we're good, Michelle. Let's hear these tips.
Great. Okay, so the first one is I want to go ahead and talk about the download management within the order. So let me just touch base on that really quick. Let's see if we had, this is going to be in your price list manager. And we can talk about that when we do talk about price lists another time. So I want to make a note of that. But let's look here on, we'll just take a look here. So digital products and digital products. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hit edit on here. So when you create your digital download for the product sales, you have the option to click this button right here where it says allow review and replacement of the images before fulfillment. So when you click that, what it does is it stops and it says, okay, you have this item in this order that needs your attention, and it will not send, we will not send it to the client until that image is replaced and you click the button that says it's been done. So I just wanted to make sure you saw that there, since we talked about that a little bit.
Hey, Michelle, is there a way to delete the help wizard on the bottom right of that?
On this right here that I'm pointing at? Right here?
Yeah, let me.
Oh, or the help wizard along the way.
Help wizard along the way, I believe.
Yeah, if you hit in tour, you should be able to get rid of that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
But it's very important to follow along on the help wizard if you can, and get some of those done. It just gets some of the easy stuff out of the way so that you can move on.
Can you say that again on how to remove that?
Yeah, there should be an option down at the bottom. When you click on the help wizard, it says either to do later or to end the tour.
Okay. It's actually on the help wizard then. Perfect.
All right. So my other tip is, when you are within an event itself, there is another spot to get to the activity. So I'm going to open up an event. And we have stats and information right here. So you can get to your activity and orders tab by just clicking on the order within the event itself. So here you have your event dashboard, and then down below you have your stats, and then it shows all the details and orders that's going on within this event right here. So you can just click on that, and it will take you directly to that activity for that specific order and event. So I want to make sure you guys knew. Yeah, so there's a couple ways to get to it, but you know, it's just helpful if you're wanting to wrap it up right then after the order and get it in process as part of your workflow. You can do that too.
Right. I do have another one question that came up about the manual fulfillment. With manual fulfillment, after I retouch the image, will InView ship it to my client? How does that work, Michelle?
Oh, so if they choose manual fulfillment and they use the InView Easy button after replacing the images, yes, you have a choice to have that sent directly to your client or to the studio.
Okay, so you have to choose which shipping method you want.
Yes.
Your studio,
yes. So
your client, so you have
yeah.
that.
So I can show you here. So when I click the fulfill through InView, I'll click on the products that I want to ship and then hit continue to check out. And it's ship to customer, and it'll have their information, or you can ship to the studio, or maybe it's grandma you want to ship it to. You can do an alternative address.
Perfect.
Yeah, and then you just hit next, and it's easy and straight onto the lab.
Well, perfect. That's what we have so far.
Right. Well, that is what I have for you today, as far as, you know, the statuses, activity, resources, the getting paid, and our easy button. So, you know, we want to make sure that you have control, and also some resources to manage your workflow and less paper. So there's less human errors. So that's what we built that out. So if you have any feedback or any questions, feel free to help us out. We do have some great help articles for those. Like I said, you could type in any question here and find that information.
Well, we thank you for sharing those tips with us and going over that orders tab and kind of explaining all that to us.
Yeah, well, thank you all for being here. I'm going to stop sharing so I can tell everybody goodbye. Hi, Michael. I see Michael DeMaria is on here. Thanks for your questions, Peter. That was helpful.
Yeah, great questions today.
All right. Well, thank you. You all have a great day. Like I said before, if you haven't been on our demos, we do have a Facebook group, a private group. It's called Your InView Space. I highly recommend you go and join if you are not already a member. And you could just keep an eye out for some of these live demos that we do every week. And if you do have some ideas or things that you want to hear from us, go ahead and put those in the Facebook group so that we can, you know, put those on for you so that you have the best education information possible for success. Yep. So thank you.
All right. Thanks, Michelle.
Have a great day. Take care.